Welcome to Milk and Cookies. This is episode 10. McConnell's Fine Ice Creams. We'll do a little background, jump into our two flavors, which tonight are...
Hazelnut latte and sea salt cream and cookies.
So, McConnell's Fine Ice Creams was founded by husband and wife Gordon and Ernestine McConnell in Santa Barbara, California in 1949. You don't hear a name like Ernestine very often. Mac and Ernie decided they would start an ice cream company that would forego the easy route and make their ice creams from scratch with no compromises. Their company would set out to produce, and I quote, the finest ice creams in the world. 3 generations in, the ice cream company that Time magazine called the best in the world operates according to the same standards Mac and Ernie established almost 70 years ago. I think we got ourselves a contender here, Lucy.
These are honestly like two of the flavors I'm most excited for in a while. And I know sea salt cookies and I know that's a little bit generic, but
Nah.
it's really fantastic. And hazelnut latte, like hazelnut and coffee,
Yeah.
those are just impeccable flavors together. I am stoked. This ice cream is fantastic. The scoop shops, I went when I was in Santa Barbara.
Nice.
And
nice.
they've got pictures of like Obama and Taylor Swift. And it's very like old fashioned, very cute.
Yeah, so when we first mentioned them, and we discussed this in our little midweek Triple Dose session, when we first started thinking about bringing McConnell's onto the show, we saw a picture of a nutrition label that had their vanilla at 151 grams in a 2/3 cup serving, which is astounding. I don't know when that picture was taken. In the last few years, they've lowered that down to 130 grams. Still very respectable. Still extraordinarily respectable at the top of the top. However, it used to be more, so that makes me sad because we'll never be able to try that version of McConnell's. But I still have very high hopes. They've got nice heft. And a couple of quick facts for you. They're all about quality. They have no stabilizers, fillers, or preservatives. And the amount of air, aka overrun, that is whipped into their ice cream during their churning process is an industry lowest 10%. Or so they say. I don't know how to verify that.
That's their claim.
That's their claim. They also claim that they have an industry highest 18% average milk fat content. And we've brought that concept up a couple times briefly for other ice creams, but I'll just run through a few that we've tried to give you some context. So they're claiming 18%. Grader's Raspberry Chip, for example, was 17. Haagen-Dazs is almost 18, 17.8. Van Leeuwen's, the honeycomb, was 14.8. The malted cookie dough is quite high at 19.4, though I have to assume that a lot of that fat content was coming from the fudge chips and not the base ice cream, since the honeycomb was so much lower. Ben & Jerry's Milk and Cookies, 16%, and Jenny's Gooey Butter Cake, also 16%. Anything above 16% seems to be super premium, you're in that realm.
Whenever we do our vanilla taste test, I think that will be a good indicator because we can look at the grams per serving of just their vanillas and just their chocolate. Then they're on equal playing field. You're not like, oh, was it the chunks? Was it this or that or that? We're all talking about vanilla here. How good of a vanilla did you make?
I think that's a great way to tell them apart. And it'll be a good way to really get down to rating each company's base texture.
Overall, I still think Ben & Jerry's is
it's incredible.
The most well-rounded.
They really are. For the price point too, they're not as expensive as Jenny's and Grader's. Usually they're like a couple bucks cheaper. And their Milk and Cookies 134 grams. It's got a bunch of chunks in it, but come on. I mean, they are...
But they're putting product in their pints.
They are giving you bang for buck.
Those cookies are still weight and product that they're putting in there. As much as we love Jenny's, their chunks are small.
The other thing that I love about Ben & Jerry's is that's what ice cream's about. Fun. It's fun as...
It is so fun.
Eating Ben & Jerry's is an exciting, fun experience.
To me, it's the ice cream equivalent of shopping at Trader Joe's, where you're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm on a discovery mission. If you look up from the aisles at Trader Joe's, there's random little dessert things you never
And you don't need any of them.
You don't, but do you buy it? Absolutely.
Every single time. And with that being said, should we...
Oh my God, wait. I made a horrible mistake. Okay.
We'll edit it back to make it look like you were ready.
I can't believe that. Which one are we doing?
Wait, which one are we doing first?
That's what I just see.
I had a spoon, but no plan.
I literally came back and yelled, "Wait, what are we doing?"
Yeah, let's do sea salt cream and cookies first. I feel like it's a little more mild. Give us a smooth entryway.
1 pint, 140. Wait, no, 473 milliliters.
Love to see that.
It is heavy.
It's heavy. It's got good heft. This is one of the heavier ones you're gonna find. Also, I love the old-fashioned packaging. Really takes you back. Yeah, it's really good. It's very old-fashioned, really old-timey.
Santa Barbara, California. And just even saying Santa Barbara, it's like, oh, that's
fancy.
It's a nostalgic, cute, old, but also fancy.
Santa Barbara rocks. Sea salt cream and cookies is dense, velvety, sweet cream ice cream, spiked with a hint of sea salt and bountiful bits of our house-baked, chewy, Guittard chocolate chunk cookies. And Guittard is a brand. They've got an R next to it for rights reserved.
They've got black label versus a red label. Their red labels they're all organic.
Organic. So this is not organic. What can you do?
But it's still California's finest. 1949. They've had a long time to perfect this. And it's still grass-fed from scratch.
I'm going to go straight in here.
Oof. Looks good.
Right in the middle.
Chunkage. No one is as up to the top as Grater's has been so far.
That is absolutely true. Even though Grater's says, oh, yeah, serving size is the same, I'm convinced there's like actually they're just putting more in there and just giving it to you without claiming it.
I already love this. The way my spoon went through it was like, this is exactly how I remember it. Oh my God, that's so the cookie.
Wow.
This is the flavor that made me start putting salt in all of my.
This is so good.
Do you like the salt in it?
I really like the salt. I was worried it would be too salty, but no, like the description said, it's just spiked in there. It's not every bite. You could take a bite and not get any salt. I just did. Right. I like barely got any in that one. Yeah, so we had to get them shipped. We could not find all the flavors we wanted. So then we were like, all right, we'll order some. And then it's like, all right, let's just order a bunch. We got 5. I got 4 flavors because Lucy was able to find the 5th one in a local store. This is excellent.
That cookie is
wow, it's superb. The cookie's like crumbled into the ice cream.
I feel like we've been saying this every week because we've been trying some good ice creams. This is one of my favorites.
It tastes quality. It feels quality. It could be homemade.
Yeah, I only don't buy it all the time because it's kind of comparable to Milk and Cookies, and Milk and Cookies is cheaper.
Yeah, this tastes wholesome. It tastes like the ingredients that are in it. I didn't look at the ingredient list. I'm sure it's very small. Yeah, it's like not that bad, and especially because it's got the ingredients for the ice cream and then the ingredients for the chocolate.
For a whole ass cookie.
Exactly.
Man, that's good.
This tastes like something that somebody's grandmom could make at their house. It tastes so real.
I would eat this every day. I'm going to be really biased here. This is the kind of ice cream I like. This is my favorite kind of flavor. I like cream and I like cookies.
This is such a Lucy flavor. This is so up your alley. Man, even if this isn't up your alley, even if you're someone who doesn't like, Milk and Cookies ice cream.
I am devouring this. This is almost perfection.
These chocolate chunk cookies, man, look at that thing.
Yeah.
Like, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this chocolate chunk I just excavated.
The chunks are like abundant.
Look at the size of this chunk.
What did the Ben & Jerry's call it? Morsel miner?
Yeah, there was a Ben & Jerry's on their Instagram. They went around the Ben & Jerry's office asking people, what do you call somebody who digs all the best chunks out of a pint? What were they? Morsel miner? Chunk spelunker?
Somebody was just like, dick.
Yeah, they beeped it out. Chunk spelunker was my favorite.
Chunk spelunker.
All right, wait, we got another flavor.
Look at those. I can't stop.
All right.
We should.
I'm giving it a 10 texture and a 10 flavor right now.
Look at all those chunks I could be eating.
Yo, imagine another 20 grams crammed into this.
No, oh my God, it would be.
A 151. Lucy, their vanilla used to be 151. And that with expectations, like I came in a little disappointed. I came in a little sad. I came in a little like, and even in spite of that, I'm giving it 10s across the board. This is phenomenal.
Oh, I'm so glad. I remember where I was when I first had this.
Where were you?
Central Market, San Antonio, Texas. I saw it in the freezer. I was like, how have I never seen this before? And this was a parking lot eat.
With the lid, or do you have a spoon at least? I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to do it all the way. Once your dignity is gone. Yeah, yo, and the salt is so nice in terms of balance. It makes it so you can keep eating. It really makes it into like a full, complete meal with all the food groups you might need.
That's why I put salt on all my ice cream.
This is so good. And it was exactly the right amount of salt, not too much. And not every bite had the same amount. It was like spiked throughout. Great marketing, these guys. I love that. I mean, we can talk about the ratings, but personally, I don't see how you could improve on this. The base texture.
Wanting to know what it tastes like with a little more. It's so interesting really doing this like this, because like if you wanted to get picky, the base texture isn't quite as creamy as Double Dough or as the black raspberry
chip. Raspberry chip was so would you give the base texture a 9?
That's so crazy because I really think this is like a perfect flavor.
The flavor's a 10. I think this base texture, I guess Grater's has a better base texture. It really does.
As a whole,
I
would eat this all day long. over just about anything else. Maybe not milk and cookies and maybe not triple dough, but that would be my next in line because the flavor and the salt so good, but it doesn't have like a super complex or super abundantly creamy or custardy. It's just there. The vanilla is just there.
So base texture, a 9. What about overall texture? I thought the overall texture was in at
10.
least, yeah, 10,
I
10.
like that the chunks are irregular.
Yes, hell yeah.
It has
Irregular
that
and way bigger than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, it
I
has
thought they
that
would
Ben
be.
and Jerry's effect where you're like, I don't know what's going to come next, so I'm digging.
Yeah,
Oh, I want to keep eating it. We got to put it away.
we got to put it away. I think the hazelnut's going to be excellent too. So we got a 9, a 10, a flavor 10 for me personally. Sugar
Marketing 10.
content, don't care. Branding and
Confusion.
marketing, it's
an
not
8.
Van Leeuwen, but it's really good. I really like the old timiness. Yeah, it's a solid 8. No confusion at all. We'll give that a 0. Uniqueness. I think this is relatively unique. Maybe not as unique as like some of the other crazy ones.
In
You
a
had
way, it
pancakes.
is like outside of like a salted caramel flavor, you don't really get salt in ice cream. Also, the pancake one, Jenny's pancake one.
Yeah, that was very
That
unique.
was salty because of the buttery aspect. Yeah, I actually do think this is pretty unique. The only other ice cream I know of that has baked chocolate chip cookies in it is milk and cookies.
Yeah,
So
true.
it's pretty unique. Again, I think maybe an 8 uniqueness.
I think that's probably right. I personally don't think I've had anything like this because it's like sea salt, cream, and cookies. And when I read that, I thought, oh, cookies and cream. It's not cookies and cream. Like it's
Yeah.
sea salt, cream, and cookies.
I
If we had
love
an
it.
honesty score, which we should have an honesty score, it would be very honest. It's exactly what it says it is. I'll give it an 8 for uniqueness. Let's move on to the
It's so
hazelnut
good.
latte before I bust this thing back open. Got the red label. It's organic. We ordered these online and they were atrociously expensive,
I don't know
but
about
the
that.
in-store prices are a little more manageable. The prices I found online were $7.99 for the regular and $11.99 for the organic. If you order them direct, they're $12 for the regular and $15 for the organic. So
I
the
blacked
organic
that out
was
of my memory.
15, yeah.
I feel like they were like 10 and 12
At the store or online?
online.
Online, they were
Wait.
12 and 15.
I
When
can-
I looked it up, $7.99, $11.99. They're in that region.
This is Jenny's Grater's price point.
Do you want to read the little description of what we got here?
That creamy, chocolatey, nutty spread, the one we all know and love, the one we easily slather on anything given the opportunity. These all have question marks at the end, by the way. The one we've now taken and given an injection of creamy coffee just to take it to an 11 question mark. It's now ice cream, which I love because I've been trying to take flavors to 11 this whole time.
Uh-huh.
You keep reminding me
Yep.
it only goes up to 10.
I think they're talking about Nutella.
Oh.
The creamy, chocolatey, nutty
Yeah,
spread,
yeah,
the
yeah,
one
they're
that we all
talking
know
about
and love?
Nutella.
Question mark. Got the same nice little McC TM. They trademarked McC. That's funny.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. Wow.
It's like a
WOW.
vortex.
Wow.
W. It's like Dune.
So it doesn't say what it is. It's just hazelnut.
Harry, you got to get after it because I just accidentally tasted a little bit. And
Mmm.
this tastes
Alright.
like a legit hazelnut.
Yo, it tastes like a hazelnut. I don't know what I was
Nutella.
expecting. I was expecting something very different than this.
So what's the darker bit?
Hazelnut.
More hazelnut. Oh, chocolatey hazelnut.
Chocolatey hazelnut. This was not at all what I was expecting. Very soft. I wasn't expecting it to be so soft.
I'm not getting. Oh, yes, I am. Well, the coffee flavor isn't
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming or shining through.
No.
See if you can find like a more abundant chocolate bit.
Vein.
I got a little dollop there.
Ooh.
It's really good.
Mhm.
It's
Oh.
almost bitter, but like in a nice way.
Like dark chocolate bitterness.
Yeah,
Like cacao.
I really like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a vein going all the way around the outside. It is abundant. Oh, now I'm like mixing it in. Oh, shit. It's chaos. It quickly devolved into chaos in my pint.
So I guess the latte is like a lot more creamy. That's why they didn't say hazelnut coffee. They really mean latte.
All right, my honest impressions, it needs something more. It doesn't have enough going on. The flavor's great. The texture's great. A little bored eating it. It needs chunks. The coffee flavor, like you said, is very mild. These rich veins of chocolatey hazelnut are great, but there are not very many of them either. There
Right.
needs to be more to this for me to love it. Flavor, excellent. Quality,
But-
excellent. You know.
The flavor is good, but you know, when you eat that Haagen-Dazs coffee, you could eat that plain all day long.
All right, I'm trying to be too nice. I don't love it. It's pretty good. Now
I
that you
would
mentioned-
eat it.
I would eat it. I will eat it. Yeah, it's lacking.
Like
Like you
without
said,
edible cookie dough.
that would solve it. Needs more going on. The sea salt cream and cookies was a perfect 10. This is a
7.
7.
Man, when it's good, it's so easy because it's 10s across the board.
10s.
And when there's something off about it, it's like, can you really put your finger on it? Because like the hazelnut flavor tastes like hazelnut. So that's good. But as a whole,
Yeah.
the ice cream doesn't quite work. It's like watered down almost.
Yes. The thing that excites me so much about Jenny's is it like punches you in the face. Like it really is so deep and rich in the flavor. This is just very mild.
This tastes like a grandparent flavor. Like,
Yeah, somebody who doesn't want excitement, somebody who's not looking to have their socks knocked off. Maybe you're not even wearing socks. This could be a good ice cream for you.
every
You don't
day
want
your
your
whole
socks
life.
knocked off. You just want a little bit of ice cream. Honestly, I was not blown away by this, especially given how good the sea salt cream and cookie was. Now it makes our next McConnell's episode that much more interesting.
Yeah.
Let's put this away before it melts.
If you mentally put it next to Haagen-Dazs, the coffee chip, or even just the plain coffee, like it's so flavorful and rich and has so much depth that you could just eat that.
It's good and bad. The bad news is it wasn't that great. But the good news is I'm
The
very
good news is
excited to see if the other McConnell's flavors hold up. Like you were saying last week, it's kind of like, we had the cinnamon skillet roll, which is a 90th percentile type of ice cream, but in comparison to the other Jenny's flavors that we had just had, it wasn't as good. And you said it's kind of boring the fact that they're
Yeah.
all so good. So I think it's a good thing that not every single one is a complete slam dunk.
Totally.
It's interesting.
I just like hazelnut is such a good flavor, but it is a little
Yeah.
bit more mild. I love like snacking on nuts, and like it doesn't really compete. That's why you don't see it in like
Yeah.
a trail mix very much.
But I thought like once I hit that rich vein, it very much did compete. But then the issue was the coffee ice cream is super tame.
They needed to make it not latte, just hazelnut coffee
Hazelnut coffee with
with
chocolate
chocolate.
chunks
100%.
or a
No,
nut.
that's it. That's
But
perfect.
if
Oh,
they
nut
put actual hazelnuts in this, chocolate covered hazelnuts
or
in this,
macadamia nuts, something else that
anything,
is a little bit
it just needed something more. Like that was a boring. That's the word. I was
The thing is, Nutella
unenthusiastic.
unenthusiastic.
The
Yeah.
chocolate what?
Nutella is chocolate hazelnut spread. It's not just hazelnut. Like they were saying that on the outside. And so that's what the little ribbon I'm guessing is. But if that had been the main flavor and then you had like hazelnut
Mhm.
coffee ribbons throughout instead of the other way around, it would have been more powerful because like chocolate is powerful, coffee is powerful, but like the
Yeah.
hazelnut by itself is too mild to not have anything else helping it out.
So scores,
feel
base
like
texture. This one was a little softer for me. Maybe mine was just meltier.
No, mine was a little softer too. There was some kind of difference. It was definitely softer,
Yeah, this was a little more egg yolky type of texture.
which I liked.
Yeah, I'd give it either a 7 or an 8. I would like to give the overall texture like 6 or like even a 5. It was boring. I was bored.
But it wasn't bad.
Yeah, 5's not bad. 5's just neutral. We've had a couple other 5s. We've had one other 5.
If it was favorite day, that's so not
No,
fair.
Gimme S'more, we gave it the texture a 5, which that seems wrong. We should probably go out.
We were trying to be like harsh. That was our first episode.
Cookie Dough Core, we gave a 0. Favorite Day, we gave a 3 and a 4. And then we gave the Van Leeuwen Honeycomb a 5.
5.5. Let's give it 5.5.
5.5? That's fair.
5.25. I just want it to be better than Van Leeuwen Honeycomb.
Yeah, 5 and a quarter seems about right. Flavor, 6. Unless you think different.
No, I do. It's so interesting when you put it in like the price context. That's crazy that Haagen-Dazs is cheaper. I think Haagen-Dazs maybe is like 5 something a pint.
Haagen-Dazs is not a full pint, so you got to take that into account.
True.
One of those
But it's
414
significantly
milliliter
better.
types. So like we gave the skillet cinnamon roll a 6. What
All
else
right,
did
so
we
give it a 6 because I ate that again the other day and I was like really trying to like it.
Mhm.
And I don't know if something happened to mine, but I'm like, there's no flavor in it that I like.
Yeah.
You kept saying if you love cinnamon, I love cinnamon. I didn't even taste cinnamon. It was like
Yeah,
something else. That was a weird fluke of Jenny's, I feel.
Yeah, also yours got a little
Is that
exposure,
it?
maybe.
Okay. Let's
Because
go
like,
with that.
well, who knows? We'll give her the benefit of the doubt. If anyone's earned it, it's her. The flavor on this, I would say somewhere between a 5 and a 7, which leaves me at 6.
That's my can of sparkling water.
Oh wow.
A 6 because it was good. I would eat it. I thought to myself like this would be really good in a chocolate dipped cone.
Yeah, true. And it would be good as like your second scoop to go along with something else that's more
Totally.
flavorful. This is definitely a second fiddle.
Yeah.
It's not first fiddle.
No, not first chair, first fiddle, first cast, nothing.
We can't all be. So I got a couple of ice cream stories for you if you're ready for news. Got
I'm
any
ready for news.
closing thoughts on McSeeds before we revisit them next week?
Emojis like the kind of the emoji with the straight eyes and the straight face, just like.
Yeah, whereas the sea salt cream and cookies was head explosion, stars and eyes.
Yeah,
all our
very
favorite
happy,
emojis.
joyful.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Moving on.
Yep.
News. I'm ready.
All right, so the first one I wrote in my notes, the fuck question mark. So baby brand Frida has stunned the internet by announcing the launch of a breast milk flavored ice cream, sparking disbelief and excitement among curious consumers.
Flavored Or is it? Like, is it just flavored?
Just flavored, but still.
Okay, but also, what does that mean?
WUT question mark is how I'm feeling. Like, what?
What was
It's
the
a stunt.
conversation?
I think it's just a stunt, and it's working. Here we are talking about it. For the last week, every day I Google ice cream news, see if something interesting comes up for the podcast. This was all over all the ice cream news outlets. Anyone covering ice cream covered this. I think they sell like formula and baby products. It's a stunt.
So it's like baby formula? Like, I just want to know what they use.
No, it's ice cream that tastes like the flavor of breast milk from a human person. They just put out an ice cream that tastes like
I just
that.
want to know like what the test room was like.
Anyhow, it's a great marketing stunt.
Great
I didn't know the name of this brand before. Here we are talking about it.
What is the name of the
but
brand?
also
Frida?
what?
Yeah.
Frida, yeah. They had like facts and figures. It was like, oh, like it was like 30% of people say they would like are curious about like and I was like, ah! Next news story, Baskin Robbins with a new cocktail-inspired spring flavor, Paloma Paradise, April's flavor of the month at Baskin Robbins, features Paloma-flavored ice cream and sorbet with mild chili pepper lime swirls. So apparently a Paloma is a tequila-based cocktail.
You never had a Paloma?
I don't think so.
Huh.
Well, like a Paloma ice cream. The drink is most
Grapefruit.
commonly prepared, just so people have an idea, like myself, about what it might taste like. Most commonly prepared by mixing tequila, lime juice, and a grapefruit flavored soda such as Fresca, Squirt, or Jarritos, and served on the rock with a lime wedge.
My qualm with things that are like a cocktail inspired dessert is if you're not putting the alcohol in it, then it's just grapefruit and lime. Just call it grapefruit and lime. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's like a ploy, and Paloma is like a nice word, but like they'll be like rum runner cake
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's just raisins and almond
Yeah.
extract.
Yeah. Separate but related, there was a story that I didn't include on here talking about the rise of ice cream wine bars, which are apparently super, super popular with Gen Z and like younger people who apparently it's this whole thing where they don't want to just have drinking as the activity. So you have to
Right.
pair it with something. And apparently eating ice cream is that thing right now. I read searches for ice cream wine bars over the last couple months are up like 260%, 300%.
This seems like the most obvious thing in the world to me because those are like, what are your favorite things? Ice cream and wine. That's my whole person. And throw ballet in there, we're good to go. I'm laughing.
Total tangent. There was like this video that this French guy made about a date that went wrong, and he's like, "So we get there. I ask her, shall we order the bread? She says, oh, I am gluten free. I said, oh my God." And he's like, and he like goes on. He's like, oh, okay, fine, let's get some wine. She's like, I don't drink. He's like, this isn't gonna work. He like got up and left. He's like, she doesn't eat bread. She doesn't drink. What's the fucking point of living? Final news story. This is a PSA, public safety announcement. Neither Breyers nor Eddie's. Actually, so Breyers and Eddie's, same ice cream brand. Breyers is more sold on the West Coast, I read. I don't know how much truth there is to that. And Eddie's is more sold on the East Coast, but it depends on the market. Some states are just one, some are the other. Like Texas is like an Eddie's state, or I don't know. I'm just making that up. Apparently, they used to be different brands, and one of them bought the other one, so they like kind of left some in some places, and now they've since expanded. So that's this whole thing. They're the same brand, Breyers and Eddie's, but neither one is ice cream.
What?
They're not ice cream. They were required legally to rebrand. Instead of saying ice cream on the side of their gallons now, it says frozen dairy dessert because there's too much air and not enough butterfat in there for them to be legally called ice cream.
We should tip them off about VL.
But that makes you think like these guys really must have pumped a lot of air into their product to
Right.
get like legally they were required to rebrand. Apparently real ice cream is made from 100% dairy products, milk, and products that are made from milk. So you can't use vegetable oils like palm or kernel or coconut oil. So not only is there restriction on how much air can be pumped in there, the butterfat content, but also you can't use certain ingredients and still call it ice cream. And that was an excellent episode. I am left eagerly awaiting McC's follow-up next week.
Until next time.
Until next time. Peace.
Peace.